Okay, so you guys knew it was only a matter of time till we covered this guy, the OG rebellious Saiyan of Dragon Ball Z, Bardock. So a lot of people want a Bardock figure, and I mean, the character has soared in popularity since his introduction back in the 1990s. And this is evidenced by his prominent role in the Xenoverse franchise. And now he's in the first DLC package for Fighters. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised that him and Broly were being added so soon, but hey, I'm not complaining by any means, just pleasantly surprised is all. Maybe it's because Tamashi's been constantly yanking my chain by showing previews of figures and then coming out with an entirely different release is why I'm so surprised. Anyways, in this episode, we'll be taking a look at Bardock. Okay, so with Bardock, we have a couple of options to choose from, but I think the most important thing here is that we have a clear distinction with him and the chock full of other Goku figures we have. Yes, I know he's Goku's father, but still, please, for the love of God, vary his sculpt ever so subtly so that we don't feel ripped off, and at least we have this guaranteed with the face due to his scar on the left cheek. I also think it'd be kinda cool if they made the shape of his hair slightly different too. To me, this would just show customer appreciation and that they actually value us somewhat, as we know they could just easily use Goku's mold for him all over. Now speaking of reusing things, I think if they reuse the matte black paint that they gave Android 16 on Bardock's legs as well, it would look pretty good as well. Also, I think if they made the straps of Bardock's armor a matted finish while having the chest plate with a glossy finish would be looking incredible. Now in terms of the appearance, the first of course is his appearance in his first feature film, The Father of Goku. Now originally he had predominantly black and green armor, which has been made more of a yellow and black armor as of recent. So it'll be interesting to see which direction they go here. Personally, I want the black and green armor just because it changes things up a bit from Vegeta and Nappa. Other than this, his bandana, armbands, and leg warmers are all burgundy or blood-soaked. Whatever the case, the colors of these have not changed. Now we also have, and I know there's a bunch of people who are going to want this, it's the Super Saiyan Bardock. Personally, I don't care as much for this as when I think of Bardock, I think he's just much more badass in his base form. But I mean, I'm not against him coming with a Super Saiyan head sculpt either. Just again, if it came down to more of the budget being spent on the base form versus the inclusion of a Super Saiyan head, I'd take the base form details and accessories. And now we have the Time Breaker Bardock. Time Breaker Bardock, in my opinion, is actually just as, if not more likely, if Tamashii wants to keep things going with their Xenoverse line, as they already put out the Hero and Trunks from Xenoverse. Now sadly we can't have both Time Breaker and the Father of Goku Bardock, as the inclusion of that little collar on the armor, as well as the silver boots, is just straight up different than Bardock's other appearances, with the most obvious difference being the mask. What I'm getting at here is, even if the mask is removable, the armor will be different than his original armor. I think the armor should be battle damaged or at least cracked, as it says something about his character. Bardock isn't that goody two-shoes like his son. While they're both seasoned warriors, Bardock's style is much more rugged and soldier-like, and with good reason due to him actually growing up on planet Vegeta and being in the Saiyan army. With Bardock, the faces we'll get also depend on which version of him we're getting, as if it's Time Breaker Bardock, we'll likely get less faces in the first place. Continuing though, aside from the regular stern face and the power-up faces, I think a smirk would suit Bardock well too. But I think the face I'd most like to see him come with is some sort of battle-damaged, bloodied-up face, just because this portrays Bardock's personality and battle-rich history so much more than any other face could. Now the thing with Bardock is that this is a figure I actually don't expect much accessories for, just because of the rawness and simplicity of his fighting style. So the first accessory I'd like to see him come with is a green scouter, and I think this should be an accessory rather than a separate head, so that we can clip it onto any of the faceplates that we receive just to vary up posing possibilities. Again though, if we get Time Breaker Bardock, it's unlikely to see a scouter. Now second, regardless of whatever appearance he's based off of, he should come with crossed arms. I'm not taking no for an answer on this one. This is just too defining of a look for Bardock. And as I mentioned before, they could also include a Super Saiyan head that could go with any version of Bardock they produce. Lastly, if it's Time Breaker Bardock, he obviously needs to come with that mask. Alright guys, so Bardock, what do you guys think? As I said, this is one figure where I think it wouldn't take much for them to get right the first time around. But do you guys think he should come with more? I mean, we have to be reasonable here. The more he comes with, the more likely he'll be higher priced and probably delayed in release. And I think just having a well done, rounded out Bardock figure would be good enough. And hey, where there's a Bardock, there's a Raditz. But he's not who I'm pairing him with, so you guys will have to wait until the next episode for that one. I think it'll spark a little bit of a discussion. Till then, I hope the best of your todays are the worst of tomorrows. Peace.